Hi, this is Erica Dyer with Incoherent Ramblings of a Crazy Bitch and my producer, Nick. How are you today, Nick?
I am good. I'm tired from being busy, but I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, I am also doing good. I'm still kind of a little a little jittery, a little excited, a little I don't know. I got a little bounce in my step after this last movie I
Oh,
did.
did wait, hold on. Did you break the seal? Did it finally happen?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Damn.
please. This is
Damn.
please. If that shit happened, if I actually got laid, it would be like a big banner across my Facebook page. Kathy would be having a party. I'd be like, "Yay, it's happened. It's happened."
Yeah.
But
I'm just checking. I was just like, what so who broke this seal? What happened?
ain't no fucking seal broke. Not yet. Not yet. But we'll see because we're getting a step closer.
Awesome.
So, it were well, I'm getting a step closer. I don't know if anybody else is. Any guys interested in me, but hey. So, and before we start, I do want to call out. Don't forget, you can email us your questions at ericadyerpodcast at gmail.com. Nobody has written us any questions, and I'm a little disappointed, Nick, because I'm going to have to start getting into the really dirty stuff.
Okay. All right. What kind of questions do you want? Let's preface with that. What kind of questions are you looking for?
Any kind of questions. It could be sexual questions, it could be problem questions. Erica, tell me what I should do. You sound like an all knowledgeable. You and Nick sound like you know it all. Please let us know. I am willing to answer anything.
I mean, I'm probably better at fixing computers than relationships, so I don't know about that.
Well, I can't say I can fix relationships. My longest relationship was in high school. So, and we just had our 30-year class reunion. I didn't go, but we just had our 30-year class reunion. So and my longest relationship was in high school. So needless to say, don't email like what you should do. Although I have been told I give great relationship advice.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I have been told that. I have been told that. But no, the reason I kind of have a bounce in my step now is this last movie that I was on, because everybody knows I've said it before. I've been traveling to these movies and having fun and just out there and doing shit and all of that good stuff. Well, I was on this movie set and
where was the movie filming? I should ask.
it was in West Virginia.
Okay.
So we were in West Virginia filming, and I always have a bit part. That's I am not an actress per se. I may have thought I was going to be an actress back before I had children, but that is not how my life went. Not that children kill your dream, although mine did, but I went on to other things. But I was on this movie set playing a bit part. Well, they have, of course, your actors that they hire. They have your extras, and I would have been your talent. Your talent are the named actors, the ones that they bring in, the ones that they're paying big money for. Not, oh, I'll give you $100 to be in my movie or $200 to be in my movie. You know, these are the ones, the name draw. Well, I'm on this movie set and they have this this talent that's there. Big motherfucker, right? He's 6'10, good looking, his
Goddamn.
hair's flowing. Yeah. Yeah. And I for those who don't know me, I'm 5'3". So he's 6'10. And we had a couple scenes where I had to walk past him, and I'm looking up at him with fear in my eyes, like, oh, I'm so scared. And so we film our scenes, and I'm there, and I'm going to be in a couple different scenes in this movie, and it was fun. It was a great day. I was only there for one day. I hadn't planned on being there any longer. So towards the end of the night, packing up my stuff, a lot of the people were going to a party. We filmed at this hotel, but my hotel was at a different location. It was about 5 minutes away. But at this hotel that we filmed, which still had paying guests, back towards the back, they had a big party going on, a big bar, band going on, all that. And a lot of the cast members were going back to this party. Had I been staying in this hotel, absolutely, I would have went to that party. I would have had some drinks. I would have partied my ass off. I would have had me a good motherfucking time, right? But I don't know this area I'm in. Fucking West Virginia, right? It's fucking hilly. I got to drive to my hotel. I'm like, I don't want to drink. I had drove my car. So I'm like, I'm just going to head out. I'm only here one night. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, God damn it, Erica, this is why you don't fucking date. You have barely any friends because you don't fucking socialize. I don't. I treat these movies like I do my normal job. I go, I do my job, I leave. I don't socialize, right?
I mean, you should, because, you know, the actors, like the whole production team is, they're usually always interesting people, and I think you're staying in the horror genre, and they're you know they're fun people. Like once they're done shooting, you know, they'll go and drink and, you know, get really torn up usually.
Yeah, and I'm sure they were too. So I go upstairs to go get my bag, right? And as I'm getting my bag, this talent, this 6'10" actor, he has his suitcase. So it was very obvious he had a suitcase. He probably got off the plane and came straight there because he had a suitcase with him. And I said, oh, you're going to go out back and party with the rest of the crowd? And he goes, no. I go, oh, I see. I said, I'm not either. I'm going to head back to my hotel. And he goes, are you staying at yada yada? And I go, yeah, I am. He goes, can you give me a ride? And I'm like, sure. He goes, what kind of car do you drive? Because remember, this is a big motherfucking dude, right?
Yeah. But I love that he said, like, give me a ride, because like that's that's almost that's basically hitting on you. It's just kind of like.
So I rush out into the hallway and I'm like, yeah, sure. I said, let me clean it out a little bit, push the seat back. So I rush out into the hallway and I'm like, Todd, I'm giving so-and-so a ride. And he's like, I heard. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucking jittery right now. Because I don't ask them for pictures. I don't ask them for autographs. I treat it very much like a work situation. You know, if we were at a convention, then that would be different. But when they're there for work, I treat them as if it is their job. I'm not going to ask them for a bunch of extra things. And I'm like, yeah, I'm giving this motherfucker a ride, right? So I have to rush down to my car because I treat my car like I'm a fucking high schooler. In the passenger seat of my car, there is trash, Phil. That is like literally covering the passenger side of the car.
That's the same shit I do. I will throw like coffee cups, water bottles, mail, food wrappers, like the front passenger side part of the car for, I think, us is the trash can.
Yes.
Like there needs to be some sort of invention where we just cover it in plastic and then we pull everything together and it becomes a trash can. Somebody can invent that. I would buy 2 boxes of those really quickly.
Exactly. So I'm like, shit. So I rush out there and luckily I had like one of those grocery sacks. So I filled this grocery sack to the brim and I kind of tie it a little bit at the top. And I'm like, where do I throw this trash at? So I run back inside and I'm looking around in the bar side, don't see a trash. I run back upstairs, don't see a trash, come back downstairs, and here's this motherfucker. Are you parked outside? I'm like, as I'm holding this trash, I'm like, yeah. I'm right outside. So I had to end up putting this bag of trash in the trunk of my car. And he's so big, I had to back my car out so he could get in my car. I had pushed the seat all the way back. He had to lean it almost all the way back. As a matter of fact, I gave my older son, who's about 5'10", a ride today. And he goes, who the fuck sat over here? Because it's like practically laying down. I said, well, if you think about it, this dude was 6'10". He, like, his head like touching the roof of my car. His knees are up against my dash, but that's fine. We got him in there, right? So as I'm driving, I'm trying not to be all fangirl. You know, I knew who he was. I had not asked for his picture or autograph or anything like that. Like I said, I treat the talent very much like they are normal people, because they are. They're normal people. They have lives. He just had asked for a ride, but I'm just like chattering. Well, it turns out he's from the same state I am. Fuck, dude only lives like 2.5 hours from me.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're just kind of chatting. He said it sounded like I had an exhaust leak because, of course, I'm driving my own fucking car and it's like a shitty fucking car. So as I'm driving, I'm like, do I turn here? Oh, my GPS is telling me here. I said, you're going to regret getting a ride with me. And he's like, no, that's okay. And then I see like 3 cops. We only drove like 6 minutes, but in that time I saw 3 cops and I'm like, oh, yeah, so it's a good thing that I didn't stop for a drink. And we even talked about that. He said, alcohol's not good for you and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I'm thinking, motherfucker, if you weren't here, I'd be back there doing motherfucking shots right now. But I had a chance to give you a ride back. So we get back to the hotel because we happen to be staying at the same hotel, right? So we get back to the hotel. And I have to let him out of the car before I park it because, again, if I'm in a parking spot, he can't get out because he's such a big guy.
Yeah.
So he gets out, and I'm telling him about, in my little town, there's this Monster Pizza. Sometimes we'll get celebrities to come in and get signatures and things like that. And he talks about how his best friend lives like 20, 30 minutes from me. Like, I'm like, woo! Am I hearing destiny in my ears? He's saying one thing, I'm hearing another. I'm like, oh hell yeah. So we're walking inside, and of course we both have to go up the elevator.
Oh my.
Yeah. So we get on the elevator, and I'm still trying to keep it very calm. Thank God I looked fucking good, man. I looked good. And you got to remember, this guy's looking down on me, which is a good angle because it covers the bags under my eyes, and it really smooth. I had just got Botox, so the wrinkles in my face were all smooth. So he had a very good angle of me.
Oh my God. I love it.
So he's looking down on me, and he's on the 2nd floor and I'm on the 3rd floor. So, and we're just kind of chatting and I'm just keeping it casual. Like, I ride with celebrities all the time. This is no fucking big deal for me, right? This is like my everyday life. And, we stop on the 2nd floor, which is his floor. I'm on the 3rd floor. So we stop on the 2nd floor, and he gets in the doorway of the elevator, and he goes, well, thank you for giving me a ride home, I said, or a ride back. And I said, oh, of course, you're welcome. And he goes, am I going to see you tomorrow? And about that time, the elevator tries to close, right? So it's trying to close on this guy. And he fucking reaches out. Oh my God, I'm like quivering now. He fucking reaches out and he hits that button that pushes the doors back open. And I'm like, did this big motherfucker just hold this elevator open to fucking talk to me? Oh my God, I'm like flushing right now, dude. I'm like, and then it even tried to hit him, and he like held it open with his hand and he pushed that button, and I'm just standing there like, oh yeah, oh yeah, fucking yeah. And he goes, so are you going to be there tomorrow? And I go, no, today was my only day filming. And he just looks at me. Now, the dude was probably just needing a ride to the set the next day in reality. But when he looked at me, I kid you not, man, I felt something. I'm like, my thighs. I'm just like, if this dude asked me to step off this elevator right now, I'd be like blowing him in the fucking hallway. I ain't even lying, man. I'm like, he don't even need to say anything. He could just like hold the door and wave his hand because I'm just like, he was so tall and he just looked down on me and his intense eyes. I felt it, man. I'm still feeling that shit now. And he goes, well, it was nice meeting you. And he held out his hand and I shook his hand. And of course, I had straightened my hair. So I kind of like, you know how women do that thing where they like flip their hair and they're like,
yeah.
I said, okay. Well,
yep.
He goes, well, I'm sure I'll see you on another movie set. And I said, I'm sure you will. And I'm thinking, what fucking movie set? Like, I am not a professional. And that was it. So he got off the elevator. And I'm like, you know, great. Like I said, he probably just really needed a fucking ride. But
I mean, like, okay, well, he didn't give you his room number, so he wasn't presumptuous. That's good. You know, that's, I guess, gentlemanly or whatever. But it's kind of like, it seemed like, I don't know. Like, I guess he wanted to ride in the morning to set. Get, you know, I don't know.
Probably did.
Yeah.
He probably did. But you know how stalkerish I could get, right? Because I fucking DM'd him. And I'm like, oh, here's the information for Monster Pizza. That's what we talked about on Friday. And he messages me back. Thanks so much, with a little heart. And I'm like, oh yeah, Erica. Oh yeah.
Well, maybe when the movie premieres, you guys will meet up at that, you know, whenever that happens.
Well, and then I told Kathy this is really stalkerish, but it's like my signature move. I sent him like a Facebook friends request and he didn't accept it. So I deleted it a couple days later and I sent him another one and he didn't accept it. So a couple days later, I deleted it and sent another one and then he accepted it. Hell yeah, baby. Persistence is my fucking. I told Kathy, I said, see, when you're at a celebrity status, he probably gets a ton of fucking requests all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so what happens is I get pushed down to the bottom. I said, by deleting your request and resending it, you keep going to the motherfucking top. Until I finally catch his eye. And he's like, yeah, I know that bitch. And he hits accept. Now, he'll might delete it after this if he realizes I'm talking about him, but he probably. So this dude awakened something in me. Now, granted, he never touched me other than a handshake, although I ain't been touched by a man in a very long time. And
that must have been a really good handshake.
Oh, dude, you don't even know it. So I had to go to work in Chicago the next week, right?
Yeah.
So I'm up in Chicago and I realized that when I'm in Chicago, I just could not fucking stop thinking about this guy. And I'm like, Erica, he just needed a fucking ride and you're like molesting him with your mind. I don't even, this poor fucking guy. I'm like, I don't even know what's fucking going on here. But I just kept thinking about him. And I realized, how the fuck did I go to Chicago with like no toys whatsoever? No vibrator, no nothing. I'm like, God damn it, Erica, you're only here for like 3 days. You can certainly make it 3 days without playing with yourself. I mean, I tried it with my hand, but I got some carpal tunnel and I'm old, so I get really tired. So I gotta stop, after a while.
I don't know what to do with that. I really don't. Like you're trying to get off, but your carpal tunnel just won't get to.
I tried. I gave it my best, but I just couldn't fucking. I'm like my hands started cramping up. So I had to go to work and I'm driving back the one day And I'm in this area that I don't know. And my GPS is like, my phone is on like 5%, right? 5% from my fucking phone. And I'm like, okay, well, that GPS 5%, that's enough to get me back to my hotel. I had 30 minutes to drive. And I'm like, I can get back to my hotel with my phone at 5%. I'm sure I can find it. It's a different area than I'm used to, but I'll give it, I'll find it. It'll be fine. And I'm driving home or driving to the hotel, and it's dark out. And I am mentally just like thinking about this dude. And I'm like, even if he was the first guy, I mean, there was no way I could. My God, he would probably split me in two if he's proportioned correctly. So I'm like, I'm thinking about this guy. And as I'm driving out of the left side of my eye, some lights caught my eye. And I'm like, was that a sex toy store that I just passed? And I thought, Erica, your phone is going to go fucking dead, man. Your phone is going to go fucking dead. You can't. I did a U-turn. I did a fucking U-turn. I thought, you know what? If my phone goes dead.
Yeah, your phone's about to die, but it's like, fuck it, I need to get off.
I'll do it old school. I'll stop at the gas station and ask them for directions.
There you go.
I did a U-turn. I went back to this toy store and got me some necessities.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, go into detail here. Like, what is, like, what kind of store was in the middle of nowhere? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, it was just like it was a nice little shop. Of course, they had your regular bachelorette stuff, but they had some really things that I wouldn't pay for. I don't need no $200 fucking vibrator, But they had like a wide variety of things. It was just your standard everyday sex store.
Okay, so nothing too crazy.
No, nothing too crazy. I mean, if anybody's been at one of these toy store latelys, they have DVDs, they have vibrators, they have the balls that you can put inside of you. They have a variety of things. So of course that's where I went and bought 3 different things. And
can we get a detail about what they are?
Well, I mean, just your standard. I'm really kind of basic. I'm really kind of vanilla. Just like a small. Well, this might actually. So a lot of women, when they go to like these toy stores and that, they get like these big, huge fucking vibrators, right? Or these big, huge dildos. I don't. Mine, my preference, I kid you not, it's like 4 inches long and about 1 inch to 1.5 inches in thickness. That's my preference. Like one of those that are made for like virgins. Because let's face it, Erica's like a virgin again. So yeah, that's my preference. And then I got the balls.
The Benoit balls.
Yeah, the Benoit balls. Yeah. I love those actually. So I got some of those, and then I got God, what was it? Was it a butterfly?
Oh, okay. I'm aware of that is.
Yeah. The butterfly that you can kind of lay on your clit and things like that. So I just got a variety of things.
Okay, did that one have like the almost like the underwear kind of things on it where you can wear it, or is it just like something you just lay like this?
It was just one you could lay. Yep.
Gotcha.
But I have had in the past the ones that had the straps where you could wear it like a pair of underwear.
Gotcha.
I have had those before. But no, I just got some toys, and then I proceeded to think about this poor man, because I could only think of him as a poor man, because this poor man did nothing to be violated so much by my thoughts. But I morning and night, this dude awoke something in me. And the thing is, I'm telling you, and I told Kathy this, I said, when he looked at me, I'm telling you, he may not have felt anything, but I felt it. When he looked at me, I was like, oh, hell yeah. And Kathy's like, did you give him your number? No, I didn't fucking give him my number. Back in the day, I would have. But Yeah, he got me to thinking, man. That dude awoke something in me. That dude awoke something in me. But other than my one telling him about Monster Pizza, my one message there, I have not communicated with him. I just molest him in my mind. So, but speaking of molesting people in your mind,
oh God,
I am still in contact with Jamie Kennedy.
any updates on that? Any messages? Any likes? Anything at all?
So I sent him a copy of our podcast where I talked about him. He said he didn't listen to it, but he still didn't block me, right? Because I sent him a copy and I said, hey, I hope you have a good sense of humor. Here's a copy of my podcast. Here's the name of it. Waited a couple days. He didn't respond. I said, oh, I'm sorry. You must not have a good sense of humor. And he goes, I didn't listen to it. I'm like, oh, okay. That's not a big deal. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Erica fucked up now. So I waited like a week or two, right? And then I sent him some more info. And I said, oh, so they're in Fort Wayne, which is about 30 minutes from me. I said, there's this comedy club, right? I said, there's this comedy club your manager should check out. Because, of course, I know people like him have a manager. I'm like, your manager should check this out. Gave him the information, all that. Wait a couple days. He responded. He's like, well, that place looks really good. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'm going to be in California in a week.
Okay.
I have to go to Chicago next week, and then the week after, I'm going to be in California. And guess who has some shows in LA? So,
oh my God, I
sent him a message, and I said, "Hey, I was just wondering." I already fucking looked it up, because I'm like. Poor guy. All these men.
Well, there's always that thing about there's always a thing I hear about women. It's like when they ask you a question, they already know
I know
the answer. Like they're only asking to like kind of confirm what's going on, kind of thing.
Exactly. No, that's exactly the truth. So I sent him a message and I said, "Hey, I'm going to be out at," because poor guy, he probably thinks I'm like a legit actress or something. Because I talk like I am. And I go, "Hey, I'm going to be out in the Burbank area during this week." I said, "You got any shows that are going on?" I said, "I'd love to see you live." I'd already fucking looked it up. I already know where his shows are, and he is out there. And he fucking responded. He goes, "Yeah, I have some shows." And I go, "I'll try to see if I can get some cast members to come and see you." So I am one step closer. I told you I played the long game with Jamie Kennedy. He has not blocked me yet.
Oh, I love it. I really do. I really do. I'm glad we got an update on the Jamie Kennedy situation.
Oh my God. So he had on his one podcast, because I messaged him tonight, actually. I just looked. He hasn't read it yet. But because he had posted on one of his podcasts about, I guess at one of his shows, because he right now with the new, God, I can't even remember the name. What was it? Scream? I can't remember the name of his biggest show. He's been really popular again lately, of course, with everybody in that cast. And I guess some fucking woman not just grabbed his ass, but grabbed him and cupped and rubbed. And he said in his podcast, it went a little beyond just like an ass grab. And he said that if it had been a man doing that to a woman, there would have been a lot of major issues. He said, but since it was a woman doing it to a man, and he was like, okay, that's fine. I get it. He goes, I'm not going to complain to your employer or anything like that, because he could have legitimately.
Yeah.
And so I wrote him on Facebook. I'm like, let's see what I wrote.
Oh,
I said, I said, "Oh my God, dude, I'm dying. I would just listen to your podcast about the woman grabbing you. I'm laughing so hard right now. You're taking it so well, LOL. And you're right. That woman just had the thrill of her lifetime. So let her be. In all seriousness, no, some people would be offended. I get it. I get it. I'm not going to say I've never been drunk enough to grab someone's ass. So, on behalf of all drunk women, so now I know I can molest Jamie Kennedy.
Oh my God.
And I ain't gonna get arrested, or I might get arrested.
Well, I mean, that's
there was some previous
Yeah.
There was some previous contact, so I might get arrested. Who knows? I ain't gonna molest no Jamie Kennedy. He's gonna ask me to molest him.
Well, as we learned in previous episodes, if you do get arrested, you've gone to jail a couple times. You're good. You're good. You can handle yourself. You get a face tattoo, knock out the top bitch and own that place in 3 days. It's fine.
No lie. I've told my kids if I ever went to prison, I would own it. No fucking lie. I would fucking own that place. Y'all don't realize how crazy I can really get. This is Erica on a leash now.
I love it. It's great.
But yes, that was my experience. Erica's had an awakening just talking about that 6'10" God has awakened something in me.
Well, I do hope that there is a premiere for the movie and he is there and it happens.
It ain't gonna happen, but that's okay because I can that look he gave me when he needed a ride, because I know that's what it was. But yeah, I'm gonna put that in my spank bank and I'll use that later.
Well, I mean, and also being being a name on a smaller movie like that, and being a male, you got to be careful.
Yeah,
you got to be careful.
Oh, because, you're right. I never thought of that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and well, I mean, with the current cancel culture and things like that, it's like the fact that he asked you for a ride is brave in itself, in all honesty. And
sad. That's really sad.
Well, I mean, that's the way things are now. I mean, the fact that he did that, I think he knew that you were going to the same hotel. So he's like, oh, whatever. She hasn't been drinking. She's not partying. It's a safe ride. We won't even if we get pulled over, nothing will happen.
That's really sad.
Well, that's the truth nowadays. You see, and it's just one of those things, like, as a guy out in the world, you just got to be careful. Like, when you go to bars, when you go to meetups, things like that, and there's alcohol involved, you just have to just, keep both hands to yourself and just, move on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you are absolutely right. You can't do shit nowadays.
Yeah. And even then, I think if, in the situation you described, I think if you would have made the move first, it would have been fine. Like because what would have happened is that it would have either gone somewhere or he would have shut it down immediately.
See, I've lost my confidence in my youth, but that'll have to be another podcast because I used to be really fucking confident in my youth.
But that's the thing, is like, because of that, and once again, like who he is and what he's doing and stuff like that, he's got to be careful because he's got a little bit of fame. He wants to keep it, make sure nothing bad happens.
That's true.
Yeah. That's the way it is.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I guess I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he was waiting for. God damn it! Maybe he was waiting for me to make the move.
Probably. Well, I mean, he did. Well, I mean, he did stop the elevator door.
He held that shit open and pushed that button.
Yeah. The fact that he reached over and pushed the button, I think, was a little bit of a sign. Maybe a little bit of a sign. But I wasn't there. I don't know. But I think had you,
I don't know. I'm telling you. I told Kathy. I said, I'm telling you. The way he looked at me, I have not had a man look at me like that in a long time. Like, look at me.
Gotcha.
I've had men see me, but not. I'm flushed, and it ain't just because I'm drinking. I think he was looking at me.
Yeah, I think if you would have made the move, and he would have probably responded in a similar way for sure. because he's got to keep his especially with independent movies like that and small stuff. Rumors. It just takes one tweet, one Facebook post, man, and that's it.
That's true.
Your career's over with.
And he don't know me. Yep, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. But if you once again, if there is a premiere and he is there and he needs a ride back to his hotel, you just you give him that ride. You give him that ride.
I will give him that motherfucking ride, man, all night long, no matter how long it takes.
Oh God, that's. I love it. Well, it sounds like you had a good time though.
I did. It was a great show. It really was. As a matter of fact, the one guy I was filming with, I was there was a fan 1 and a fan 2, and I was fan 2, and because they didn't give us a lot of directions as extras, I decided fan 1 was going to be my boyfriend, and the way I reacted to him was as a girlfriend would react to her boyfriend. And somebody actually said to me, they're like, "Oh, are you two really married? How long have you two been married?" I'm like, "I don't even know this fucking dude's name."
That's how convincing you are.
Yeah, like that's called acting, baby. I made you all believe.
Oh man.
Oh, God.
I love it. Is that all we got for this episode?
I think that's it for this episode. Yeah, we'll have to say for the next episode the times that Erica got brave enough to make a move.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you've gotten this far in the episode and you want to help us out, follow us on Twitter at ericadyerpodcast on Twitter, ericadyerpodcast on Instagram. And as Erica said, in the beginning, Erica Dyer podcast on gmail.com for any questions regarding anything, any advice you want, any advice you need, advice you want. Yeah. So, any closing thoughts, Erica? Anything?
No, just I don't know. Maybe how to make a move. I think Erica's lost her mojo. Well, Erica needs to get her mojo back.
All right. Well, hopefully next week hopefully next week something happens. But we'll see everybody later.